Since 1960, the National Youth Orchestra of Canada has been supporting and fostering the careers of young Canadian classical musicians from ages 16 to 28 to prepare them for a career as professional orchestral musicians. Each year, more than 500 musicians audition to be part of this prestigious ensemble, and only the elite are chosen. One of the highlights of every NYO summer is the cross country tour that is done. This summer, the musicians of NYO will visit Ontario, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta, giving 8 concerts in a tour that they're calling Horizons. Coming up on Tuesday, July 23rd at 7:30 at the Centennial Concert Hall, the National Youth Orchestra will be here in Winnipeg, performing music of Bela Bartok, Maurice Ravel, Aniuhani Ratavara, Joan Tower, and others, in an evening that is sure to be a phenomenal night of music making, performed by some of the best young musicians in the country. And joining me here over Zoom to talk about all things NYO and the concert on the 23rd of July, I am joined by the new conductor of NYO, Naomi Woo, and a contingent of Manitoba made orchestral members, bassoonist Gabriel Nishikawa, tubist Paulo John Rubio, and violinist Keshav Srinivasan. Hello to you all. Nice to have you here.
Hi,
Nice you too.
yeah.
Hi, Chris.
Thanks for having us.
Naomi, you are very much a familiar voice and face to Winnipeg. You were the assistant conductor of our Winnipeg Symphony Orchestra between 2019 and 2023. I first want to ask, how have you been? And a big congratulations on becoming the new music director of NYO. And how does it feel to take on this exciting new role?
Thank you, Chris. It's so exciting. A big part of my role in Winnipeg was about mentoring the next generation of Canadian musicians, both in my role as music director of the University of Manitoba Symphony Orchestra and also my role of music director of Sistema Winnipeg. I feel like mentoring the next generation is part of my responsibility. As an artist, I am excited and heartened by the future of classical music, by all of the incredible young musicians that I meet in any different capacity. And I just really look forward to working with the incredible young musicians of the National Youth Orchestra, and in particular to coming to Winnipeg with all of them.
Mm. Which sort of leads nicely to my next question. Education for you is such a big part of your what you're teaching and your pedagogy. How is it going to be working with such an elite ensemble?
Well, I think that the role of a conductor, whether it's of a young orchestra, whether it's with 7-year-olds at Sistema, or whether it's with a professional orchestra, the role of the conductor is to bring out the best in the musicians. And I see that as my role at NYO as well, to help the musicians who are there develop to their full potential as musicians and leaders through my mentorship and leadership.
Mm-hmm. We also have 3 musicians originally from Manitoba here. Education is such an important mandate of NYO. I thought I would start out by going around the room and get the 3 of you to give a shout out to your Manitoba teachers and tell us where you are now and what you're going to be doing in the fall. Gabriel, maybe we'll start with you.
Oh wow, it's gonna take a while. My first shout outs to Jeff Botch, who was my junior high band teacher, and he got me on bassoon. And I have to thank my saxophone teacher, Alina Arneson, who was so inspiring to me and taught me so much. And then in high school, I have to thank Jackie Dawson, Matt Abraham, and my teacher, Alan Harrington at the University of Manitoba, who taught me saxophone and bassoon for so long. And they've just, it's just so exciting to, have all these people like so dear to me, have like taught me everything that I know. And
And what are you going to be doing
yeah,
what are you going to be doing in the fall?
yeah, the fall, I'm going back to do my second half of my master's at Curtis. So we've come quite a ways since my time at the University of Manitoba, actually. I actually transferred to McGill the year that Maestro Naomi Woo was going to come in. So I'm like, oh, I just missed you, but here, worlds collide again. So that's so fun. Yeah.
And then Paulo, how about you?
So I have so many to take to, but I will start at University of Manitoba because if Chief did not like accept me to be at U of M, like Chief Dr. Gillis, I won't be here in Canada at all. And I would also love to thank my with ensemble conductor, Dr. Jackie Dawson,
Yeah.
who really supported me to like take the auditions here in NYO. And of course, my tuba teacher, who is also an NYO alumnus, Justin Hickmott, was really a fun guy and is really inspiring guy to learn from. Yeah, and also I would like to thank my family for supporting my endeavors here in Canada. Yeah, so my full plans is I will be featured as a soloist in the U of M wind ensemble this fall term because I won the concerto competition last fall. Yeah,
And what are you going to be playing?
I will be playing. It's not yet sure, but it will be a concerto for tuba. Yeah, it's not yet finalized. So
And
need
Keshav,
to-
how about you? Who are your teachers here in Manitoba, and what are you going to be doing in the fall?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my first and only teacher, actually, Daniel G. Cordova. I started with him when I was 4 years old and finished with him right before I went to undergrad. So that was a very important person in my musical life, and he probably knows me more. He probably knows me as much as my parents do, honestly. In the way I grew up, he was really transformative in my musical life, but also the way I was brought up. Next fall, I'll be going into my third year at Northwestern University in Chicago.
Nice. Okay, so I'm going to ask the question of the three of you. When did you all first hear about NYO, and why did you decide to audition? Do you want to just jump in on that one? Paulo, what do you think?
For me, because I just said that my teacher was an alumnus of NYO, and he was just told me to like try all the summer programs you can, and that's what I did. Just audition to every summer programs I can. Yeah.
And Gabriel, how about you? When did you hear about NYO, and why did you?
Quite a while ago. Well, when I was at U of M, one of my colleagues, Daniel Croyn, who's an amazing bassoonist, he was in 2016 and 2017, and I think 2017 was when they did the Cross Canada tour. Maybe it was 2016. It was, yeah, but then I remember seeing, I went to the concert in Winnipeg and I was like, NYO Canada. And I was like, oh my God, little me could go and play in NYO, wow. And then, when I was in my second year of university in 2019, I auditioned and then I got to join NYO that year and we went to Spain and it was like the most like incredible experience. I still have so many colleagues that are all, it's like, Maestro Naomi Woo, we're just like, all these people I meet and it's just so great to, small world. And
Keshav, how about you?
I actually only found out about NYO Canada in the last maybe 2 years. In undergrad, fellow Canadians were talking about, NYO Canada and the experience. And I just love playing with people my age who also have the same love for music that I do. And to go on tour to share that passion for music to like everyone, like coast to coast is pretty remarkable. So I'm very excited.
That's fantastic. For our listeners who don't know, can the three of you talk about the audition process? What's it like? And can you share any memories of the audition? I'm not going to go around the room. I just want you to jump in. What is the audition process like?
I mean, I think for all of us, it requires a lot of orchestra excerpts as well as solo pieces. And the recording process is one take, which is pretty daunting for me at least, because, it's a 10 to 15 minute long take. And, maybe you make a mistake at the 15th minute or something, and you kind of just have to take it, right? So, it took a lot of practice for me personally to kind of get comfortable enough with all of the pieces that I'm playing so that I can kind of play all of it to a level that I'm really happy with.
So the auditions were recorded and then sent in?
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting. One of the important parts of the summer is the work that the sections of the orchestra do with their applied faculty members, trumpet teachers, violin teachers, etc. What happens in June with the faculty members? And I'm right about this? There is some chamber music that happens in June. Can you talk about that a bit?
Yes, yeah. For the first 2 weeks of NYO, we're just like doing chamber stuff to know and feel how musicians play, and it's kind of like feeling each other kind of stuff, and just playing music with them. Yeah, getting to know everyone. Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like a great way to sort of understand how your section is going to work in the orchestra. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
I think it also gives everyone the sense of confidence that they can play their own part like individually. Because in chamber music, you're one to a part, right? You are basically playing solos. And I think that gives everyone a lot of confidence going into orchestra, because everyone in orchestra is a leader and they should be really confident with what they're playing. Even in a big section, like a violin section with, a lot of violinists, I think having this chamber experience is really valuable for us.
Especially for the winds.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Getting details like tuning and where things are sitting and blend and the rest of it. Naomi, the rep for this summer looks super diverse and awesome. There's the Bartok, the Joan Tower, the Lily Boulanger, the Radavara, etc. Can you talk about how the summer came together rep-wise? And I have to say, I'm super choked that you're not going to be doing the Sibelius 2 here in Winnipeg. But anyway.
Me too.
Yeah, we couldn't do everything everywhere. It's a really exciting program. I was really interested in connections between different composers. And so, for example, two of the sort of pivotal pieces on the program are the Bartok Concerto for Orchestra, which is absolutely just like a classic of the repertoire. It's a piece in which every section of the orchestra really gets to shine, which is one of the reasons why I chose it. I thought it was such a nice opportunity to showcase everything that an orchestra can do, and also for each section of the orchestra to really have these incredible moments and solos that many of these sections have also practiced in excerpts really a lot, and to put them in context. So there's the Bartok, and then there's a piece by Hindemith, the Symphonic Metamorphoses. And then this is not one of the pieces we're doing in Winnipeg, but I'll tell you about it anyway, because a really interesting connection between these two composers is that the Canadian composer Violet Archer studied with both of them at different points in her studies. She studied with Bartok in Europe, and then she studied with Hindemith at Yale. And so I thought that connection was a really nice way of also tying the legacy of these big name composers to Canadian music, to the present. I mean, Violet Archer, no longer alive, but to a sort of lineage of composers that feel part of our orchestral fabric, the Canadian orchestral fabric. Some other music by living composers that we're playing in Winnipeg: Joan Tower's Fanfare for the Uncommon Woman. It's a fabulous piece. It's going to be a great showcase for the brass, Paolo, and the percussion. And also a piece by Erilyn Wallen, who's a really fabulous Black British composer called Mighty River. And this piece takes as its main theme an American spiritual song. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous piece, a piece that was written to commemorate the emancipation of slaves. And so I think that also points to ways in which music can be really alive and present, music written by living composers, and also music can be connected to important moments in our history and important moments in society. So those are two of the pieces. In Winnipeg, you will hear the Bartok, that one for sure. We're doing Maurice Ravel's La Valse, one of my favorite pieces of music, really, just of all time. And pairing that with a piece by the composer Lily Boulanger, a woman composer who was writing just right around the same time as Ravel, but died extremely young. She died in the Spanish flu. And, one can only imagine the incredible music she would have gone on to write if she'd lived longer. But this is just a spectacular little gem of a piece. And then you'll also hear the Rautavaara flute concerto with our wonderful soloist, Aron Sarkisian. And that's going to be a really fun piece for a lot of reasons. It ties nicely with Sibelius. Rautavaara is a Finnish composer. But also it's a piece in 4 movements, and each movement is played on a different flute.
Ah, it's great. Yeah, I was doing some reading. Apparently, Lily Boulanger's sister Nadia, who went on to be such an important pedagogue of the 20th century, she taught everybody. She said Lily was a better composer than her. You know, she's a fabulous composer.
Absolutely. And Nadia Boulanger is 100% the person who ties together pretty much everyone who
Everybody.
wrote any music in the 20th century. Another fun fact about every single piece that the musicians of NYO are playing this year is that they were all written after the year 1900, which is kind of amazing considering the wide range of styles of music that we're playing. And so it's just a testament to the incredible richness of music from the past century and a bit.
So you talked about the Concerto for Orchestra by Bartok, and you've said it's a real showpiece for the entire orchestra. For you as a conductor, so does it create any challenges?
Oh, sure it does. Yeah.
And for the 3 musicians, how does it feel to be playing such a powerhouse piece as the Concerto for Orchestra?
For me, the best part of this is I'm using a tuba mute, so they will see the tuba mute. How big is it? Yeah.
Yeah. And for bassoon, there's that big excerpt, I think, in the 3rd movement, the game of couples.
The second movement. Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, I'm so excited. I've been wanting to play that since like forever. It's like, when do I finally get to play this? Oh, yes.
Yeah, and we can hear it. We can hear it here in Winnipeg. I'm going to ask the three musicians, how long have you been practicing this rep? And were the excerpts from the programs that you're going to be doing this summer in your audition requirements?
Oh, for the tuba, there's like none of the rep is in the audition requirement. So I played Prokopiev 5, Ride of the Valkyries, an Etude, tuba concerto, and Wagner's what's the other? Meister Singer. Yeah.
Meister Singer.
Yeah.
Fantastic. This has been so great. I'm going to wrap things up by asking all of you, what are you looking forward to most about the upcoming tour? Naomi, I'll start with you.
You know, I have to say, don't tell any of the other cities, but I am most looking forward to coming to Winnipeg. It's a city that I have such a special connection to the city. I really miss it. I'm so delighted. I'm really thrilled to be featuring NYO there, to be featuring NYO with so many musicians who have a connection to Winnipeg too, and to sharing this incredible music with my friends and colleagues and my community in Winnipeg.
And Gabriel, how about you? What are you looking forward to most about the tour?
I mean, I'm really excited for like the whole tour because it's so fun, but like definitely Winnipeg because, you know, I've been away from home for like over 5 years, and it's not often that my family gets to hear me play. And I'm also excited to go to Banff because I have so many memories of going on band trips to there every year, and it's been so long. Yeah.
And Paolo, how about you?
For me, it's just exploring the whole Canada because I haven't been around Winnipeg too. So exploring Canada is the best for me, and playing music with that, it's just it's just a win-win for me. I think. Yeah.
And Keshav, what about you?
I think I'd just piggyback on what Gabriel said, like playing in Winnipeg for family. I think my uncle is going to bring like 20 or 30 of his friends who are going just because I'm in the orchestra, but because, you know, they maybe haven't experienced much classical music. And I think it's really going to be very special to share what I love with them. Yeah.
Chris, can I just add too that NYO operates on a pay what you can model for tickets, which I think is a really it's a really innovative way to ensure that financial barriers don't prevent people from enjoying the magic of orchestral music. And I'm really proud of that and really excited about that. So I hope everybody feels like they can come out, even people who don't necessarily think of orchestral music as something that they can afford to do or have time to do. I think this is going to be a great opportunity to hear orchestral music, maybe, as you say, Keisha, for the first time.
And for our Classic 107 listeners, I've embedded a direct link to the NYO website where you can find out more details about the Winnipeg concert. It's going to be great. Gabriel, Paulo, Keshav, and Naomi, this has just been so wonderful to talk to you over Zoom. All the best on the tour. It's going to be just great. And I can't wait to see all of you here in Winnipeg performing on Tuesday, July 23rd at 7:30 p.m. at the Centennial Concert Hall. Thanks again. This has been fantastic.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chris.